Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon video, and in today's video, I want to show you guys how you can easily farm shiny Pokemon. It will take you some time, it will require a lot of patience, but the process itself is very easy. In fact, it's the exact same principle that I introduced you guys to in my early Salamence video that I uploaded the other day, and I've been wanting to upload this video for a couple of days, but I didn't want to do it until I had some genuine results. And last night, I got it to work, I got a shiny, so now I can show you the process in practice. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions whatsoever. But to begin with, once again, let's talk about preparation. First things first, you're going to need two things. The first of which is, once again, the Adrenaline Orb, which is unlocked once you've reached the second island and you've completed Mallow's Trial. This can then be purchased from Pokemon Centers, from the guys over in the stores, scroll to the bottom of the list, and you can buy it there. An Adrenaline Orb is an item that is new to this game, and it basically makes it so that the Pokemon you encounter are more likely to call for help during battle. You can only use one per battle, but once you have used it, the effects then remain until that battle has finished. The other thing you're going to need is a Pokemon with the move Full Swipe, or if you don't have that, then Hold Back. Everyone should have Full Swipe, because once you've defeated the very first Island Kahuna, he will give you the TM for Full Swipe. So if you're at the point in the game where you have enough progress to buy Adrenaline Orbs, you're also going to have the TM for Full Swipe. So everyone can use this move, but if you don't have that, then Munchlax, the Mystery Gift, also comes with the move Hold Back, which does the exact same thing. It makes it so that when you attack a Pokemon, instead of killing it, it will drop it down to 1 HP, and that way it makes it great across the board, just generally speaking if you're trying to catch Pokemon, because it means you can reliably get them to low health. But in this case, it also means that you can drop them down to the threshold required to make them call for help, and it means you then never run the risk of killing them, and in turn, messing up your progress. So once you have those two things in place, you're then ready to begin the process. And the first thing you want to do is work out what shiny Pokemon you want. Now for the purpose of this video, I really didn't care what I got, so I just ran into some grass in a low level area on Melemele Island so I can make this thing a very quick process. But if you are after a particular Pokemon, then the first thing you want to do is find that in a random encounter and get into battle with it. Once you've then done that, what you then need to do is begin by using Full Swipe to drop the Pokemon's health down to as low as possible, and of course, depending on how highly leveled you are, this will ideally be 1 HP, but provided it's below 50% health, then you are at the right threshold to trigger the SOS mechanic. At this point, you then want to use your Adrenaline Orb, and this will then make the opposing Pokemon much more likely to call for help. And once you've used both these items, you are then ready to begin. See, once the enemy Pokemon calls in help, the Pokemon that comes in to assist it has a chance of 3 things. Number 1, having better individual values, or IVs. Number 2, having its hidden ability. And number 3, being shiny. And for the purposes of this video, number 3 is what we're interested in. So I'm pretty sure you guys can now see where this is going to go. You lower the Pokemon's health, you use your Adrenaline Orb, you get it to call in for help, you kill the help, and you then let it call in help Pokemon over and over again. And as mentioned, you're going to need some patience for this, but if you continue to do this, eventually, one of the help Pokemon will end up being shiny. Now there are a couple other things you guys are going to need to know. First things first, as mentioned in my Salamence video, make sure you try and keep track of the number of turns. I would recommend every, say, 30 turns, consider killing the original Pokemon and then dropping the health of the help Pokemon. That way you can shift the focus. This doesn't break your shiny chain, nor does it reduce the chances of it being shiny, but what it does do is it prevents the original Pokemon from struggling itself to death. If that Pokemon uses up all of its moves and it then has no more PP, then it can struggle, it'll die, and of course if that happens, you have wasted your time, broken your chain, and you'll then have to start all over again. So I would recommend every, say, 20-30 turns. I normally track it just by using my moves. So for example, if I'm using something like Golisopod, and I know that, say, one of my moves has 15 PP, another one has, 10, if I've used up most of those moves, then I start to think to myself, maybe I should consider switching the Pokemon, so that I don't run the risk of doing that. So I'd say, yeah, every 20 or 30 turns, consider swapping focus, but when you do that, the principle still remains the same. You wait for it to call in for help, and you then defeat the help until it becomes shiny. Now, the other thing you do need to bear in mind is there will come times where help won't arrive, or it just won't call for help in general, so in those situations you need to waste a turn, and you can do that in a number of different ways. You can swap Pokemon if you want to, especially if you're running low on PP, but one of the easiest things to do is just use an item that will have no effect. So you can go and use another Adrenaline Orb. It won't consume the item, but it will waste a turn. Alternatively, if you're not poisoned, you can use an antidote. Anything like that, using items that basically have no effect, will not consume them, but it will use up your turn. So that's what you need to do in the event that help is not called in and you need to waste a turn. But as mentioned, beyond that point, it is literally a case of rinse and repeat. Kill the help, call in more help, kill it again, and eventually, after a long time, after a lot of patience, you will see results. And in my case, I actually switched. I began the fight with Growlithe. I very stupidly, when I got tired and I wasn't focusing too much, I accidentally hit the run button. So I ran about 2 hours into my shiny farming. I completely wasted it, so I started again. And I was fighting a Smeargle this time. And luckily, after about 2.5 hours of that particular session, a shiny Smeargle turned up. And I got results. So, there you have it. You can see it right in front of you. There's a shiny Pokemon, side by side with the original one. So when you get your shiny, it is then very simple. You drop its health down as low as possible, you kill the help, and you then catch the Pokemon. Because of course, do bear in mind, you can't catch Pokemon if there are 2 in the field. So you need to kill the one you don't want, catch the other one, and there you have it. And that, my friends, is how you can easily farm shiny Pokemon. As mentioned, it will take time, it will require patience, but it is an easy method. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, then again, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know if you guys have got any shinies yourself. And take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.